Hey loves, welcome back. So if you just watched the last video that I filmed, this video is following it right after we just filmed that. So if you're joining me for this video, then welcome again. This may be a long video, so if you're sticking through these, I commend you and thank you. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So my system has basically stayed somewhat the same throughout the first 6 months of 2023. I did make changes as the year, started to go on from January to February. I realized that my initial systems were not going to suffice. And then I started tweaking and making more changes because I realized that my needs kept changing. And so with that came a lot of, changes in what I was using to kind of simplify things that I was either using or what I needed. So it's been through some changes, but what I like about my system is that it can be used the same across basically everything because it's so straightforward. And not only that, I haven't really purchased a whole lot of newer systems. These are all things that I've used before, so I kind of already knew how a lot of them would work for me. So with that being said, let's talk about it. So recently I shared that my husband would be leaving for 6 months. Just a brief rundown. My husband's in the Air Force, and part of, his job, unfortunately, is to deploy. And so he will be leaving us for 6 months. With that, in my last video, I spoke about my concerns and how I felt about whether or not to stay or to go home. So I have made the decision that it made more sense to go home. It's an unfortunate situation because we have to pack up everything here, and all of the things that we set or put in place for my son will have to go on pause. But I feel like right now, in the phase I am for my life, and also just where we are, I feel like this is going to be good mentally, financially, and just overall just good spiritually, because we need that support, and right now I need that support. So life is going to be changing again. Planning will look a little different as I won't be running my own household for that time. So yes, a lot of you know that I use a discbound system as my main planner for the home. And so I don't know if my discbound system will hold up to the move because I won't need all of those things. But we'll see. We'll see as time goes on. I've been currently using, though, personal ring size inserts. For those who are wondering, this is a Tanya Plans compact, Franklin Covey compact sized binder. This isn't a Franklin Covey binder, but it's quote unquote the size of a compact, and I just use basic regular personal size inserts in it. It makes a world of sense for me because it's a trifold, and I tried wider inserts and I was like, you really can't get a whole lot here with the wider inserts. So enough of that. But anyway, I set this up with the intentions to kind of mimic my home planner and things like that. And so it has a wide range of things too that can still do what my discbound system is doing. The only thing is I have such a love-hate relationship with the rings. I don't always know if I can do the rings because of just my experiences with them in the past, and how I would always try to get everything that I wanted and never could because the ring size doesn't allow me to. But fortunately for this binder, it has 1.5 inch rings, so I could get quite a bit in here. So I kind of shared like how June looked. Is this June? Is this June or July? I have July written there, but I know it's June. Okay. Yeah, I showed how all of this looked and how I relatively plan in my monthlies, and no difference for July. It's the same way. The change in which I'm excited about, and I think I'm going to do a plan with me too, because I feel like you guys enjoyed like the sit down me real time talking about like certain things. I don't usually do plan with me's, but I feel like that's where we can have the most, like personal and like just raw conversations. It's like when I'm thoughtfully thinking through like my plans for the week. And I think you guys enjoy that. So I'm going to try to do them a little bit more. But yeah, I have like a bunch of things set in here. And what I really like about this is that I have it set up in a way that isn't overwhelming. Like sometimes I feel like my discbound can become super overwhelming. But I basically focus on the weekly aspect. So for this, I have my monthly breakdown. This is for July. And I have appointments in here, and then things that I need to do for the month, and then some priorities I need to do for the month. Since we are going to be leaving early September, this means that technically we only have like a month. We're getting ready to go into the second or the halfway mark of July. So basically a month and a half before, we're out of here. So yeah, not a whole lot of time, but I feel like I need to start having some things set in place. I also like this because unlike my discbound system, I actually have a tracking section, and here I can track like my household chores versus printing off another sheet. And then I have a mood tracker, which I always loved tracking my mood and things like that. So I think if anything, if I leave, I'm definitely going to be taking personal rings. I just feel like the inserts are a little bit easier to get a hold of than my discbound inserts. I feel like I have to have like my archive binders and all that stuff for my disc because I have so many sections, and it's bulkier, it's heavier, it's harder to keep up with. And this, I feel like I could just get a box and put all of the things in that box. So yeah, but this is my personal size inserts. And so I wanted to just quickly flip through and like just talk about like my direction for right now. So my direction as of right now is I am looking for the most easiest and simplest form of planning. And for me, that is going into something that's more smaller and portable. I thought maybe a passport, and I thought maybe keeping up with my current bullet journals and things like that. But I feel like I had to draw out, like I had to do a lot of stuff. There are things that I won't have with me or access to while I'm home with family. So I just didn't want to do that. I wanted to make it as simple as possible. And fortunately for me, the layout that I like a lot is similar to a Filofax. So I could, in fact, get the Filofax inserts and still have all of the sections and things that I'm using right now with undated inserts. So that's that. These are the past couple of weeks that I've done. I like to use these little Filofax jot pad, little 3 hole punched pages, mainly just to like jot like extra tasks, extra to-dos, things like that. I'm just giving you like a general overview of how like the weeks have turned out while using this planner. It looks very different from the first time I used it this year, and so it's a refresher to see something different. and like just a new approach to how I'm using it. This was our vacation week, and I kind of pre-planned this before we even went on vacation. So I have like all the things that I wanted to do in here, all the things that I had planned for us to do, and some of it we kind of followed, and more of it we kind of just winged it. But nonetheless, it's a nice little spread to look back on and to see like all the stuff that I had planned out and set forth. And then this is this current week. So still my husband is home with us. He goes back to work next week. So basically this is like our vacation week, and we don't have relatively any appointments. We did have one yesterday, which I was kind of upset about because I'm just like, all the other things have canceled or moved to the following week, and here we are with this one little minus appointment. But nonetheless, this is how this week is going so far, and what I can say is that I like it. I don't know. I really like what I'm doing with this as of right now. So one of the things that is missing from this whole little setup is that I have dailies in here, but I haven't used the dailies, which I have been more drawn to just weekly planning, but sometimes I really do need the daily aspect of it. So what I took upon myself to do was, let's see if I can zoom you back in. What I took upon myself to do was go out and get a Moleskine 18-month daily. I love the Moleskines. I love them. I love them so much. My love for the Moleskine dated planners is that I like the way the paper feels. It's like really buttery and it's thin. And I also like the layout of the Moleskine dailies because it's simple. Like you can bullet journal in it. You can use it for what it's intended to be, which is using the timeline. You can do so much in this one book that I feel like it doesn't get enough recognition. I feel like the pocket gets a lot of recognition, but the bigger planner does not. And the bigger planner has a lot to offer too. So I'm not new to this. I've used the 18-month daily Moleskine in the past. There is a video somewhere far back on my channel that has like flips of it. And then last year when we were PCSing to this base, I tried to do it again, but it just didn't stick. The vibe was different. The situation was different. So yeah, that didn't work out last year. But for the most part, I have written like my personal info in here, so I'm just gonna bypass that. But I did fill this out, and I did go in and do like my important dates, the dates that I wanted to remember, and I've done my monthly. Now the monthly kind of sucks a little bit because it's a month on one page, and if you write big or if you have a lot to write, then you're not going to be able to get much of anything in these monthlies. But what I have decided to do is just not care if it spills over into the following day, because usually 9 times out of 10 I don't have anything like back to back like that anyway, so it didn't bother me. But that might bother someone else, especially if you have reoccurring appointments and they fall like back to back or in that same week. I like to utilize the bottom space. And another quick tip, which I didn't do here, but is you can take translucent sticky notes and you can literally just overtop it over the boxes, and you can fill out stuff for that day, and then just put it there. So then that way you're not bogging up your box or like writing over other boxes. That can also be done too. So just a little tidbit there. But yeah, I like the new system that I'm using right now because I kind of feel like this simplifies things. I love a bullet journaling system. I do. I love a bullet journaling system so much. I just think that that is beneficial to me because I don't have to worry about archiving inserts. Everything is there. But I like having like the discbound system to be able to move and change things around should my needs change. So I feel like I get the best of both worlds using the two systems together. And yeah, so I incorporated. So my new system for the second half of 2023 is the Moleskine Expanded and also the personal rings. I think I'm going to take a back seat for my dismount. I'll give you updates with that in the future, but I think I'm going to take a back seat with it because I'm getting ready to leave and I don't necessarily think it's going to be as useful as some of these other things will be for me. So it's kind of like PCSing all over again, where I was sitting here trying to figure out what was the most effective planners to take with me. And so, yeah, I quickly ran back to a Moleskine. For the daily aspects of it, I decided that I wanted to keep this very simple and just straightforward. So still using ballpoint pen. You guys know I love ballpoint pen. I feel like Bic needs to sponsor me because I use their products so much. I use their products, I use their pens, their pencils. Do they make pencils? I don't even know, but I use their pens primarily, and I have a plethora of boxes of them. And recently I went out and I got these bright liners from Bic. And they're like 2 of each color, so that makes 12. There's 6 different colors in total. And I got them, just put all my markers in Ziploc bags. But I got them because I knew like my dot markers would bleed through, like the Ohuhu dot markers. They would definitely bleed through. And I just wanted something that was like pastel-y and not too harsh and not too inky to go on the page for those things that I like to highlight and draw attention to. So yeah, it's just pen and highlighter and sticky notes, and I think this is the beauty of it because it is just pen, highlighter, and sticky notes. And it's so simple because these are all things that I can get relatively easy wherever I am. Like I can get sticky notes from any office store. I can order them. I can also get the big pens from like a Walmart or anything like that. So again, all useful tools that I don't have to think too hard on. I also try to think of like easiness. Like I have the monthlies, the weekly, or the monthlies, the dailies. And then I do have a weekly book in here. It's just like a little traveler's notebook, weekly book that I just tucked into the back pocket that isn't filled out or anything. So I don't necessarily need to show it, but that is an option. It has 12, it's not the Traveler's Company insert. So it does have 12 weeks, or not 12 weeks, 12 months. I don't even know if I thought maybe I would have had a, here we go. I have this weekly in there. So a lot of you might have remembered this from earlier when I was using the B6 size budget traveler's notebook. This is the weekly insert that I have in there. I got this off of Amazon. It is by Peter Popper Press. They're like $3 and some odd change, and you can get 2 in a pack. So that's 2 years in one pack. And I think the inserts are really, really nice quality. I really like his inserts a lot. And this is the insert that I was using earlier this year when I was doing like my planner like changes and all of that stuff, when I was trying to figure out like what I wanted to use. This was the planner that I was using. So that is the insert that I have in the back pocket of this setup. And I haven't set it up because this week has just been like a dud. Like we had a holiday right in the start of the week, so it's just been kind of like a dud. But The good thing is it's undated, so I can literally just jump in whenever I need to. And yeah, that gives me the best of both worlds: the monthly, the daily, the weekly. Then I have another Moleskine Kaye A5 slim size, because these are kind of slimmer than regular A5, but I have that here for just general notes. And yeah, so this is my setup. This is my system currently for the next 6 months. I am in the process of thinking about 2024 and all the things that I want to use for 2024, and I feel like I have a very, very solid idea of what that could be. But I'm going to play on it, because making this decisions right now doesn't seem like the right thing to do, because our minds are forever changing, our needs are forever changing. But I wanted to at least pop in and give some updates and share with you all some of the things that I have been up to and what I've been using in the last couple of weeks. And yeah, I should be doing another video. So currently I'll have these two videos up, and then probably Sunday I'll have another video up. But I want to do a plan with me for the current week, for the following week, sorry. Because I think you guys enjoy those. They're like a breath of fresh air from like my usual typical videos that I upload. So I think you guys enjoy those, and I'll try to incorporate them more. But yeah, I just wanted to give like a update with you all and share some stuff. And yeah, I thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys real soon in my next one. Bye guys.